Our next senior from Bucknell, Maryland, who majors in computer science. She's a school by her parents, Mark, Christopher. Please welcome Hannah Finley. Next is Spring Maryland native major in computer science.
It's senior day from the Kinney Natatorium as the Bucknell Bison men's and women's swimming teams are both fresh off wins. Today they try to keep the momentum going against conference rival Lehigh. As a team, the Bison men are 4-4 while the women are 6-2. The Lehigh men's team is 6-3 while the women are 7-2. Great to have you with us on YouTube. I'm Ryan Beers. It is the final dual meet of the season and it comes on senior day. Earlier, about a half hour ago, you may have watched it. We had an emotional moment where we read the names of the seniors and now we are ready for action. Lehigh and Bucknell on senior day. Up first, of course, is the women 200-yard medley and a fun matchup. We have a group from Lehigh that won in their last matchup. Johnson, Davies, Michelle, and Cody. We'll try to get the first names later. They're in the fourth lane. And Bucknell's top seed time, 1:42.51, led by Sophia Burns, is off in lane number 3. The first race of the day, lanes 3 and 4 you want to watch. That's the A team for Bucknell and Lehigh, respectively. For Bucknell, senior Kyla Kelly is going to be the anchor. We'll see if we get a chance for the senior to come up big and pull off an early 9 points. In the medley relay, we're on the backstroke. It is the group in lane 5. That's Bucknell, led by Natalia Gajecki, the freshman. Great start. She has her group out in front first. And it seems like on the breaststroke, it is lanes 5 and 4. Bucknell in 5. 4 is Lehigh. They're in first on the first turn for this second group. In lanes 3, that's the Bucknell favorite, their A team. Sydney G, a sophomore, had a fantastic run last week when her relay team took home first in the matchup against LaSalle in the 200-meter relay. Okay, we're on to the third group, and it looks like lanes 3, 4, and 5. Bucknell's A team, Lehigh's A team, and Bucknell's B team, Lehigh's A team, and Bucknell's A team, respectively, are in that race. Bucknell's B team, led by Victoria Castro, they have taken a lead. A part of that's actually in lane 5, Bucknell's A team of Sam Pingia. They've taken the lead, 5 and 4. Bucknell and Lehigh, they're neck and neck for first as we come down to the final stretch. It is the junior Sarah Kentron for Bucknell against Genevieve Cody in lane 4 for Lehigh. It's the butterfly. Who's going to pull it off? As the crowd gets into it, Lehigh has about a half a body lead, and it looks like it's going to be Lehigh as they touch the wall first, taking the first event in the women's 200 medley with Bucknell's A team of Sarah Ketron as the anchor right behind her. The B team for Bucknell, they finished in third, so Bucknell takes first and third. Bucknell taking the first, Lehigh taking second, so Bucknell takes the top spot there to start the day. So it's Bucknell in lane 5, touching Sarah Ketron, touching first. And Bucknell takes it with a time of 1 minute and 52.6 seconds, just ahead of Lehigh with 1:49.25. And then Bucknell taking third. So with Bucknell, Lehigh back and forth in heat number 1 for the women's 200 medley. Bucknell takes the early lead in this conference matchup on Senior Day. It was a team of freshmen Natalie Gajecki, Hannah Bingley, Sam Pajinski, and Sarah Kentron. The senior there is Hannah Bingley, really pushing her team forward there as the second swimmer. Okay, the men's 200-yard medley is up. And of course, once we get to the 1,000-yard freestyle, we'll have time to go over the seniors and what to expect more today. In the 200-yard medley, want to watch out for lane 3 for Bucknell. That's their 18, anchored by Drew Green. This group, a combination of them, took first against LaSalle a week ago. They're in lane 3. Caleb Hadjerdorn, James Lombardi, Damian Kajiski, and Drew Green. That's the group to watch. Lehigh's top bunch is in lane 4, led by Ben Kisker. These 4 took first place in their matchup against Marist a week ago. The best time, a minute 30:59 for Bucknell in lane 3. They're pairing a minute 30:01. So those are the top seeds, lanes 3 and 4. We'll see how they swim. Bucknell's combination of Drew Davis, Matt Rodabaugh, the senior, Finn Russell, and Colin Smith taking their first run together in lane 5. Bucknell took first and third in the women's 200. How will they fare in the men's?
No, Brain.
Caleb Hagedorn, the sophomore, he's ready. And he's off. Hagedorn in lane 3. That's a good push-off, almost parallel with him. In lane 4 is Ben Kisker for Lehigh.
Okay.
On the backstroke to start, nobody's created much separation. Let's see how they do on this first turn. Great push-off in the middle for lane 4 for Ben Kisker. He's neck and neck in lane 5 with Drew Davis. A couple of freshmen going toe-to-toe. Great jump in lane number 4 for Spencer Ridge. Really, lanes 3 for 5 are pretty much even for the breaststroke. A fantastic push in 5 for Matt Rodabaugh, the senior, on it before today, and now making ground against him is Ridge for Lehigh. Rodabaugh, he touches the wall first and gives to Finn Russell. Russell out ahead. Just behind him is Aaron Williams, a senior for Lehigh in lane 4. Russell turns first and 5. On the butterfly, let's see who comes up first. It's Russell. About half a body length ahead of Williams. Russell on the turn first, and here's the final up and back. It is Colin Smith for Bucknell, the junior, trying to close off the win. Smith touches the wall and he turns. Behind him is Chase Beerley for Lehigh in 4. But in lane 5, Colin Smith ahead of the bunch by half a body length. Can he close? He does. And Bucknell takes the second race. Combination of Drew Davis, Matt Rodabaugh, the senior, Finn Russell, and Colin Smith taking first with a time of 1:39.83. They take 7. They take the 9 points there. What a race by them. They had not registered a time together. That's the first time this bunch has been this season. 1:39, not a bad first. Or pardon me, 1:31.90. 1:31.90 was the run there for the 4 from Bucknell. So the men's 200 medal relay, Bucknell takes first with a 1:31.90. Lehigh takes second with a 1:32.70. Okay, we move on to the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Get a little bit of a break and get a chance to watch the fantastic freshman from Bucknell, Kyra Gill. She's in lane 6. The best seed, though, is Kelly Byrne, the junior from Bucknell. She is in lane 5 with a seed time of 10:16.59. lane 2 for Bucknell. In lane 3 is the Bucknell freshman Emma Brigatti. Lehigh's Reagan Gilligan with a seed time of 10:40 and 4. Kelly Byrne in 5, and then Kira Gills in 6. For the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Misspoke, Bucknell won the first. Pardon me, Lehigh won the first, Bucknell won the second. And this is event number 3, and they're off. See how Kelly Byrne did off the block. Everybody about even. Byrne may be a nose ahead there in lane 5. Her seed time 10:16:59. What a year Byrne has been having. 5 wins this season. Most recently, she won the 500 freestyle against LaSalle. She won the 400 medley at Army on Saturday. She took the 500 freestyle against Holy Cross. The 200 breast against Boston U. It's been an incredible year for Kelly Byrne. 5 wins this year. She's off to a strong start, probably a body's length lead, as we are on the 4th up and back, coming into lap 7. Talking to Coach Dan Schurer before the meet, he was thinking these 1,000-yard freestyles were going to be important races. He highlighted the dive, he highlighted the freestyle, and he highlighted the backstroke as where there's a chance Bucknell could create some point separation. Lehigh took the women's 200-yard medley relay, and Bucknell came back with the men's 200-yard medley relay. And now Kelly Byrne is ahead of the pack here in the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Byrne, the junior from Bucknell. And what a year she's had as she goes back after the 7th lap on lap number 8. Trying to beat her seed time of 10:16, about right on that pace, maybe a bit behind. We'll see who touches the wall second here. Appears like lane 6, Kira Giles. That's for Bucknell. And then in lane 3, Emma Briganti, the freshman from Bucknell. 2nd and 3rd respectively on lap 10. Kelly Byrne in the lead. Bucknell women's team coming off that win against LaSalle. They won 10 events on the way to defeating LaSalle 188-112 a week ago here at Kinney. Kyla Kelly and Claire Renner won 2 events each. 8 different Bison, 1 individual events. Might see Clara later on. She's a reigning Patriot League Rookie of the Meet. Clara Renner, she's been dominant this year. Think about this team. Her and Kelly Byrne are 2 that get mentioned a lot, as Byrne just over 3 minutes working on to lap 13. As she turns first, the rest just touching the wall at this point. So Byrne's in first at a 3:20 pace, turning back for lap 14. Not quite halfway done yet. We have the men's 1,000-yard freestyle coming up next. William Shoemaker, one of the seniors for Bucknell. He'll be a lot of fun to watch with a time of 9:26 as seed time. We recorded that 2 weeks ago. Last year, one of the top 5 ever finishes in Bucknell school history in the Patriot League swim meet at the end of the year. You know, he's gearing up for another great run. Will be fun to watch him in lane 5 in just a few moments. He's got some tough competition, though.
Splits aren't working.
Will Pistrelli, the sophomore from Lehigh, his best time this year, 9:21, a full 5 seconds better than Shoemaker. So you know, on senior day, Will is going to be hyped up to try to top his rival from Lehigh. I mentioned Kyla Kelly a little bit ago. She will come up in event 5. in the 200-yard freestyle. Also has some tough competition between Maren Ludwig of Lehigh, Jennifer Bolden of Bucknell. In that race has the best seed time at 1:49.31, another outstanding senior for the Bison. Outstanding junior, Kelly Byrne. Comfortable advantage as she works her way to the halfway point in the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. She's approaching the 5-minute mark. Her seed time 10:16 this year. Of course, you got to count fatigue to come into play as Byrne leads everybody at 5:13 coming down to lap 21. Halfway through the women's 1,000-yard freestyle, Kelly Byrne, comfortable advantage. In second in lane 3 is Emma Briganti, the freshman from Bucknell. Look at her pace. 10:24 is her seed. Let's see if she can press that. And then in lane 4, Reagan Gilligan, the freshman from Bucknell. And in lane 6, Kiera Giles, also from Reagan from Lehigh in lane 4. So the top Lehigh swimmer in lane 4. Racing right now for third, and a tight race for third with Kiera Giles. Head of the pack is Kelly Byrne. Byrne wrapping up lap 23. No seniors in this 1,000-yard freestyle. It's important to remember the seniors today. We'll talk about them as we go along. Had a fun time talking with some of the parents ahead of time. Braden Beagle, Hannah Bingley, Nikita Bityutsky, Jennifer Bolden, who we'll see here in just a moment. Alex Crossing got a nice round of applause. Emma Fell, Chase Ferguson, Claire Keeley, Kyla Kelly, Jack Krug, Matt Rodabaugh, Will Shoemaker, who we'll see here in just a second. Ava Stallmeyer, Sam Sweetster, and Jackson Vinnerob. Of course, we can't forget Shane Wynn as well. That's your senior bunch for Bucknell. Talking to Coach Dan Schinnerer, he had such high things to say about this senior team, mature group, hard-working group. He's seen such great progress. And of course, those can be generic things you say about a class, but Dan absolutely meant it. He's really enjoyed working with this group and helping them progress. Lap 27 for Byrne, ahead of the pack. In second in lane 3 for Bucknell, that is Emma Briganti. Great to see the freshman having a nice swim here. And then battling for third, lane 6, Kiera Giles for Bucknell. And in lane 4, Reagan Gilligan. But right now, Kelly Byrne in control. 10:16 is her seed time. 75% of the way there. It's going to be a tough number to top, but she looks like she's in a good shape for her first place finish. Will be the second for Bucknell today after Lehigh took the women's 200-yard medley. Bucknell took the men's 200-yard medley. Byrne touches the wall, heading back down for lap 32. 8:23 is her pace. Maybe a bit behind her seed time. Not behind anybody else though in the pool right now, as Emma Briganti is in second. Kiera Giles in lane 6 in a race with Reagan Gilligan, the freshman from Lehigh. Lehigh women's team coming off a nice win. They beat Marist 215-84. Marion Ludwig, who we'll see in just a moment, took home 3 of Lehigh's 14 event wins. Sophomore Claire Coughlin took home a trio of top 2 finishes, and Kate Whitaker dominated the diving event. It's a lot of fun watching her. Won't have my commentary then. We'll make sure to keep the camera on though when she is out there. working her way back on lap 36. Coming down to the end, you can see the men's swimmers jumping up and down and getting ready ahead of time. Alex Crossing for Bucknell with that phenomenal 9:39.32 run a few weeks ago. The senior William Shoemaker trying to win on senior day. Right now, though, it's all about the junior, Kelly Byrne, racing ahead of the pack. 9:49. It's going to be tough to hit that 10:16 on 38. She'll have one more up and back. 9:58 is her time. She's got 18 seconds to beat her seed as she turns on the jets, heading down to the final up and back. There's the bell for Byrne, 10:10. What will her final time be? Great push off the wall. She sees the red. Byrne at 10:20. No, she wants to try to beat that 10:30. It's got to be close. About 5 seconds left to do it. Byrne in control. Kelly Byrne touches the wall to take first. Who will take second? In lane 3, Emma Briganti. 10:24 is her best time. She'll finish with a time of 10:50. Not bad. Byrne was 10:39.27. And coming in third place is Lehigh. That is Reagan Gilligan. Had a good last stretch there to finish with a time of 10:56.90. Giles at 11:02.93 to come in fifth. And then Worth for Bucknell, wrapping things up with an impressive run there of 11:12. Nicely done by Brooke Worth, not too far off her seed, as Bucknell and Kelly Byrne take first place.
Let's go, William.
So Byrne takes first, back-to-back top finishes. Now we move on to the men's 1,000-yard freestyle. The big name to watch. I say that because he's a senior. We're always excited to watch our seniors on senior day. Is the economics major from Sarasota, Florida, Will Shoemaker. Colleen and Brad, his parents here watching. Let's see how Will does. He's in lane 5. Alex Crossing in lane 3 has the highest time here, the best seed time for Bucknell. And they're off as Will Pistrilli, the sophomore from Lehigh, the best seed time out of them all at 9:21. He's in that 4th lane. Everybody pretty even to start. Let's see how Pistrilli, want to watch him, does off the wall. Great push from him as it looks like he's got the early advantage in lane 4. In lane 6, a good start for TJ Hayes, a freshman from Lehigh. His best time this year, 9:32. Shoemaker in lane 5. Finn Franks lane 7. Owen Higginbotham lane 8. Alfredo Figueroa is in lane 2. And then Alex Crossing in lane 3. So we got 2 seniors, Crossing and Shoemaker. Shoemaker coming off that phenomenal swim last week against LaSalle, easily took first place. There's at times where you thought he might top his all-time seed, his seed total, which he eclipsed in the Patriot League tournament last year. Lane 4, Will Pistrilli is in the lead, the sophomore from Lehigh, although they're bunched up. Great turn on the far side by TJ Hayes, the Lehigh freshman bidding for an upset. He's got the lead. Second looks like it's Pistrilli. Shoemaker in between those two. He creates, or he cuts down the deficit. Let's see how Shoemaker does off the push. And it's Shoemaker sandwiched in between the 2 Lehigh players. Shoemaker trying to make up ground as he's in between Pistrilli in lane 4 and Hayes in lane 6. Great kick off the wall by TJ Hayes. He takes the lead. Shoemaker edging up on Pistrilli, maybe a length behind him. Hayes, great kick off the wall. He's trying to create separation. Keep a close eye on that trio. In lane 3 is Alex Crossing, even with Finn Franks and Owen Higginbotham in lane 7 and 8. The Bucknell women also coming off that great win against LaSalle this past week. Freshman Drew Davis is a name to watch. You haven't seen him yet today. He leads the Bison with 6 event wins so far. We'll mention a little bit more about what Coach said about him in our conversation this week. Patriot League Rookie of the Week honor after Bucknell's Invitational, setting 2 top 10 times. Also freshman Jason Kellerman. Talking to Coach, he said those 2 are so technically sound they came to Bucknell with incredible technique and ability. Back to this break, Shoemaker right now is in 3rd. The Lehigh duo is in 1st and 2nd in lane 6. TJ Hayes has a lead. Will Petrilli's in 2nd as they turn down to lane 14. Wonderful to have you with us on this senior day, this final dual meet of the season. And a very enjoyable senior day celebration. Before, it's just so nice for the parents and the family to come out, take pictures with their student athletes, and celebrate how much they've accomplished here. And I think swimming is one of those sports where you start young, maybe never have an intention to be this great of an athlete, and it just blossoms, and it's a journey the parents, siblings, friends go on with their student athletes, and it culminates in many ways today with Senior Day at the Kinney Natatorium, and it's just a proud moment for everybody. TJ Hayes, his seed time's 9:32. He's running, I think, ahead of that as he approaches lap 18. Will Petrilli is in 2nd in lane 4. William Shoemaker in lane 5. He's running in 3rd. An unreal run last week against LaSalle for Shoemaker. A clean win for him. He's up against a challenging pair, though, here in Petrilli and Hayes. It's Hayes off the wall. He's got about a body length lead. Behind him is Petrilli, and then in 3rd is Shoemaker. Alex Crossing making up ground. He appears to be even with Finn Franks and Owen Higginbotham. They're on the far side. Franks for Bucknell, Higginbotham in lane 8 for Lehigh. Hayes turns halfway through onto lap 21. Losing ground to Petrilli. Shoemaker comfortably in 3rd. He's got Crossing and Franks and Higginbotham making up ground. In lane 2, Alfredo Figueroa. Hayes and Petrilli creating serious separation now as Hayes turns first. We're not even seeing the we haven't seen one of the top swimmers in the conference yet, and Jack Dumpy. He'll race a little bit later on for Lehigh. Will Petrilli and TJ Hayes finished 1-2 last week against Marist. Shoemaker and Alex Crossing finished 1-2 for Bucknell. Shoemaker had a time of 9:56, Crossing 10:08. Petrilli 9:21 and Hayes 9:32. Right now it is Hayes. He's swimming ahead of that total. He's in 1st. Petrilli in 2nd. Who will touch the wall first for 3rd? It looks like it's Shoemaker, although Crossing has picked up ground. Would Alex Crossing take 3rd on Senior Day? Right now, TJ Hayes and Petrilli in lane 6 and 4 respectively. They're in control after finishing the top 2 spots against Marist last week. 3/4 the way done in the men's 1,000-yard freestyle. Women's 200 up next. Petrilli trying to make ground on Hayes. Keeping a close eye on Shoemaker. He touches the wall after crossing. And gaining ground on the far side is Higginbotham. Higginbotham making it big for 3rd place. Crossing touches the wall first for 3rd. Hayes still in first. It's Strelly in second. That'd be a flip of how they finished this past week in lap 32. Hayes pushes off the wall. That's a good push for Hayes. He's got about 2 lengths ahead of Pistrelli. Pushing to lap 34. It is Hayes with the lead, Pistrelli in second. Crossing, racing against Higginbotham with Shoemaker looking at 5th right here. An unreal run last week. Maybe some fatigue still playing a factor for Shoemaker. It is TJ Hayes. He's feeling good today. Pistrelli in second. Hayes turns to lap 36. Pistrelli in second. Crossing has created some separation for 3rd place. Higginbotham in 4th. And then Shoemaker touches the wall 1st and 5th. Followed by Finn Franks. Crossing now, starting to really seal in this 3rd place finish as we work to lap 8. Higginbotham trying to creep up behind him on the far side in lane 8. The last up and back. TJ Hayes trying to ice this one. Pistrelli touches. Hayes one more time down. He's trying to pick up the 2nd first place finish today for Lehigh. 9:30 is what he's looking at. Hayes, does he got enough for a personal best? It's gonna be close as Hayes touches the wall. At 9:34.96, 2 seconds off his seed time. Pistrelli comes in second with a time of 9:41. Crossing is right behind him. Can Crossing hold on to 3rd? He will, as Alex Crossing comes in at 9:49 in 3rd. In 4th on the far side, Higginbotham at 9:51. Now Shoemaker trying to hold on for 5th. Will he do it? He does, as Shoemaker comes in at a time of 9:59.39 to take in 5th for Bucknell. So Shoemaker able to hold off Lehigh and take in that final spot. The seniors place 3rd and 5th for the Bucknell Bison. Shoemaker last week at a time of 9:56. And behind that this week, strong race from everybody though. That Lehigh duo is something else. Okay, women's 200 freestyle. Both teams have one first place finish. Look at the Scordia when we can. See the score up there. Looks like that is still the LaSalle score. Okay, women's 200. We're set for it. Lehigh's Maureen Ludwig took first last week. She's one of the best racers on this team. Bucknell's Sydney Detman and Virginia Hastings and Kenny DeVoe all finished in the top 3. They had a 1-3 sweep in their last event last week. We'll see who touches the wall first at 4th. It's in the 4th lane. Marion Ludwig for Lehigh in the lead. In lane 3, Kyla Kelly just behind her. That was a matchup to watch. And in lane 5, Jennifer Bolden, a Bucknell Senior, right behind them. Ludwig turns, leading. They come down to the final few strokes. Ludwig leading. Right behind her is Kelly, as she touches and turns, and Ludwig creates some separation, although not a bad turn from Kelly. In lane 5, Jennifer Bolden. It goes Ludwig, Kelly, Bolden. Can Kelly make a run at Ludwig? She is cutting down the separation. Ludwig the turn. Ludwig trying to hold off Kelly. Kelly in second in lane 3. Ludwig turns for the final up and back. Kelly in second. Can Bolden hold on to third? Sophia Perry, the Lehigh freshman, giving her pressure. Right now, though, Marion Ludwig, a comfortable lead in first. She's in lane 4. Kyla Kelly. As Ludwig touches, Kelly in second. Who will be third? Looks like it is Hastings in lane 7 for Bucknell taking third. So Ludwig with a time of 1:52.38. Kelly in second, 1:54.34. As the pair finish 1-2. The third win for Bucknell. We move on to the men's 200-yard freestyle. Top seed time here in lane 4 is Braden Roach. It goes Sam Sweetster, one of the seniors for Bucknell, in 1. Will Moon in 2. Damian Krajewski in 3. Roach in 4. Dante Bonodana in 5. Jack Deppy in 6. Jason Kellerman in 7. And Judson McIntosh in 8. This is a loaded lineup. Maybe one of the best events here for Lehigh. Their duo freshmen of Depp and Kellerman have had some of the best performances this year. They're in lane 6 and 7. And right now it is Kellerman in the lead by maybe half a stroke on the far side, but making up ground on the near side is Will Moon, the sophomore from Lehigh. He touches and turns first. Kellerman in 7 and Depp in 6. Along with Judson McIntosh, it's Lehigh with the early advantage, although in the middle for Bucknell, Kaczorowski and Buadana trying to cut down that disadvantage. Halfway through, Will Moon. The 52-second pace is in first in lane 2. Moon's best time was 1:40.38. I think he might have his eyes set on that. Moon, as the gap is closed, it's Jack Depp, who's won half a dozen races already this year. Depp on the far side, off the push, has a lead. Next to him is Jason Kellerman. Now Moon turns on the jets as they come down for the last up and back. Moon touches the wall and pushes off. A trio of Lehigh swimmers in first, trying to close the gap. That's Donovan. Moon on the near side. It's between him, Depp, and Kellerman. Moon. It's Kellerman touching the wall first in lane 7 with the win. Bucknell's Jason Kellerman, the outstanding freshman, touches the wall first with a time of 1:40.67. An excellent run for Kellerman, two of the top freshmen, maybe in the conference. Pardon me, I misspoke, putting Lehigh by his name earlier. Kellerman from Bucknell and Depp from Lehigh, and Kellerman takes first, Depp takes second. It could be a fun rivalry over the next few years. So both teams have won 3 heats. Now the women 100-yard backstroke is scheduled to be up next. As we catch our breath, we'll have heat 2 of 2 here. It's Jake Greenleaf in 4 and Samuel Stone, the sophomore, in 5. We'll keep tabs on that. Lehigh took the women's 200-yard medley. That was Eliza Johnson, Zoe Davies, Claire Michella, and Genevieve Cody. Then came back winning the 200-yard medley relay. Bucknell's Drew Davis, Matt Rodabaugh, Finn Russell, and Colin Smith took first. As we're watching Samuel Stone and Jake Greenleaf, sophomore freshmen, 5 and 4, their lanes. Looks like it is Greenleaf, the freshman, the early advantage. Going back to what we've seen so far, the women's 1,000-yard freestyle, Kelly Byrne, comfortable win there. And TJ Hayes took the men's 1,000-yard freestyle. Marion Ludwig for Lehigh took the 200-yard freestyle. And then Jason Kellerman for Bucknell in an exciting finish against Jack Depp won the men's 200-yard freestyle. Jake Greenleaf leading Sam Stone. One more up and back to go. We'll have the women's 100-yard backstroke coming up in just a bit. A couple of first and second finishers for both sides. As Greenleaf, he's close to a seed time. Going to be a little bit short as he finishes with a 1:44.46. Good run from him. His best time was 1:43.76. And Stone comes in with 1:52.96. As we move on to the women's 100-yard backstroke. Eliza Johnson's the one to watch. In lane 4, 55.03 is her seed. It's Talia Bugel, Yoshri Gatti, Natalia Gajecki for Bucknell. Eliza Johnson, Sophia Burns in 5 for Bucknell. Gilia Bavariani for Lehigh in 6. Wayne Wright for Bucknell in 7. And Bonita Zuo for Lehigh in 8. Burns and Johnson, that'll be fun to watch, both similar seed times. As Johnson pushes off the wall, has the early advantage. She's the favorite according to seed times in the 100-yard backstroke. This was a spot talking to Coach Schinnerer beforehand where he said he thinks could decide this meet. Johnson kicks off the wall, a slight advantage against Sophia Burns. Burns in second, Johnson in first, but making up ground in the number 3 lane is Natalie Gajecki, the Bucknell freshman. Gajecki, strong push off the wall. It's a battle for the top spot between the middle lanes, although Olivia Wainwright in lane 7. Who's gonna get it? And it is Burns taking first. The time of 57.04. Gajecki came in second, 57.25, and Johnson in third at 57.46. So Burns takes first, Johnson takes second. Gajecki takes second, Johnson takes third. So top 2 finishers from Bucknell. We move to the men. Bucknell's Drew Davis took first against LaSalle last week. He's in lane 5. Tristan Ronayne took first last week for Lehigh. Those have the top 2 seed times, 5 and 6. Ronayne against Davis, Lehigh against Bucknell. Who will come out on top? Ferguson for Bucknell's in 1. Precup in 2 for Lehigh. Kuhn for Bucknell in 3. Kisker in 4 for Lehigh. Davis in 5 for Bucknell. Ronayne in 6 for Lehigh. Hagedorn in 7 for Bucknell. And Skibbo in 8 for Lehigh. In lane 4, it's Davis for Lehigh. Has the early lead, making up ground though. Kisker, pardon me, in lane 4, the lead. Davis making up ground. Kisker off the turn, he's got the lead in 5. Davis, Kisker, neck and neck as they approach the wall. Davis, the slight lead. Can he hold? He can. Davis takes first. Another close one for Bucknell as Kisker comes in second. Drew Davis, a time of 50.38. Kisker, 51.01. For Davis, that is about a second off his seat time. An impressive run as Davis takes first. Kisker in second. So That is 3 straight wins for Bucknell as they have the advantage right now in the team score. This is heat 2 of 2. Caleb Kubiak for Bucknell in 3, Matt McClellan in 4, Brandon Beagle for Bucknell, one of the seniors, season 5. Jackson Landau in 6, and Akita Benzubski is in 7 for Bucknell. Benzubski, pardon me, is in 7. Benzubski, good start. Lane 4 appears to be the lead. That is Matt McClellan for Lehigh. McClellan, the advantage on the 100-yard backstroke. And we have the first up and down, putting pressure on him. Caleb Kubiak. Kubiak and McClellan. McClellan in 4, Kubiak in 3. Does Braden Beagle have something to say about it? The final push off the wall, it's a good one for McClellan as he maintains his lead. Although Beagle making up ground. Kubiak in first. McClellan in first, Kubiak. McClellan, who got it? McClellan for Lehigh takes it, Kubiak finishes in second with Beagle in third. So Matt McClellan takes it, Kubiak second, Beagle third, as we head to the women's 100-yard breaststroke. This one's highlighted by usually Natalie Gajecki. Doesn't look like she's on the list here. Olivia Wainwright had the next best finish last week, also taking the week off. The best seed time is lane 5 in Hannah Bingley. So it's the 100-yard breaststroke. It's Kennedy DeVoe for Bucknell in lane 1. Eliza Meth in lane 2 for Lehigh. Sam Benzigi, pardon me, in lane 3 for Bucknell. Zoe Davis in lane 4. Hannah Bingley in lane 5. Emma Giorkos in 6. Sydney G in 7 for Bucknell. Caitlin Hoffman for Lehigh in lane 8. Out of the turns, lane 4 and 5 to be nearly even. Zoe Davis for Lehigh and Hannah Bingley, the senior, for Bucknell. On the breaststroke, Davies the advantage. Bingley right behind her. Davies off the turn. Bingley, and then in 7, Sydney G, the sophomore for Bucknell, looks to be in third, although they're bunched up. Down the stretch, who's it gonna be? Davies or Bingley? Could it be G? Davies in 4, Bingley in 5. And it is Bingley taking it. The senior comes up with the win. The very last moment, Hannah Bingley. Her seed time was 103. She just missed it at 105. Hannah Bingley on senior day taking first. You know, that feels good as we move on to the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Top seed time belongs to Spencer Ridge. You have Ramadan in 2, Hepburn in 3. That's for Bucknell. Spencer Ridge in 4. James Lombardi for Bucknell in 5. Andrew Tokchik in 6. Matt Ronabar in 7. The senior for Bucknell. And Carson Morris in 8. The best seed time belongs to Spencer Ridge at 56:21. That will be next. I missed a line here. Ava Stallmeyer, pardon me, is getting a race by herself, trying to top her seed time of 107.28. Stallmeyer, one of the many seniors today for Bucknell, an accounting major from Cincinnati, Ohio. Came out with her parents, Heather and Ryan, some extremely nice. Congrats to Ava Stallmeyer. Accounting is a steady, valuable, and reliable career. So that's always a smart one to go into. Clearly good with numbers. The number she wants to beat is 107.28. Let's see if Ava can pull it off as she comes down the final lap. Ava, it's gonna be close. 7 seconds to go half the length of the pool. Can she top her seed time? Ava Stallmeyer, it is so close, just behind it at 108.29, missing her seed time by a small second, but a wonderful run by Ava Stallmeyer. Okay, now we go to the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Mentioned to you who's the top seed. That's James Lombardi. Lehigh dominated this against Marist, taking the 1 through 3 finishes. Spencer Ridge had the top one at 56-21. Ridge is in lane 4. Ridge seems to be trailing though. James Lombardi for Bucknell has the early lead. How's his push off the wall? Not as strong as lane 7. That's Matt Ronabaugh, the senior for Bucknell. He had the advantage, and then his teammate Lombardi took it right back in 5. Just behind him in 4 is Ridge, the top swimmer for Lehigh this past week. Bucknell also took the top 3 spots, including Lombardi's top finish of 57-27. Can Lombardi repeat after his win against LaSalle? He's in 5. Lombardi touches the wall first. He leads with Ridge right behind him. Close up in 7 is Ronabaugh. Can Ronabaugh upset as the senior in 7 with Ridge in 4? Lombardi in 5, Ronabaugh in 7. Who will take first? It is Lombardi taking it with Ronabaugh in 2nd. Lombardi's 57-41 time earns first. Matt Ronabaugh 57-47 in 2nd with Ridge in 3rd at 58-29. Ronabaugh just missing a seat time. It was 56-64 coming in. What a run, what a race rather by the senior. Okay, the women's 200-yard butterfly is up next. We're keeping a close eye on Clara Renner. Had a great week last week. Reigning Patriot League Rookie of the Meet, Clara Renner, getting her first swim here, her first event. She is in lane 5. Renner in 5, got Jocelyn Halsey for Bucknell in 1, Zuo for Lehigh in 2, Sydney Detman in 3 for Bucknell, Deach in 4 for Lehigh, Renner in 5 for Bucknell, Michello in 6, and then Tess Feld in 7 for Bucknell. It appears to be Caitlin Deach for Lehigh has the early lead. Right behind her is Clara Renner. Halfway through, Renner's got some ground to make up off the push. Deach with a 2:01.17 seed time. About 2 seconds behind Renner's, but right now it's Deach in the lead. Deach took first last week with a time of 2:06. She's in track to beat that. As we come down the final lap, it is Deach against Renner. Deach in 4, Renner in 5. Deach has got the lead, and she closes out. Renner finishes in 2nd. Oh, pardon me. Here comes the last down and back. There's a turn. Deach. Now Renner's even with her nearly. Deach in 1st. Renner in 2nd in lane 5. And lane 3, Detman. Now Renner has a slight advantage off the turn. Off the final turn, it's Renner. Here's one more down and back. Renner in 1st, Deach in 2nd. And in 3, it's Bonita Zuo. Pardon me, Detman in 3. Renner trying to close. Trying to get a seed time of 1:59. She'll miss that, but she'll take first as Renner wins. Deach comes in 2nd. And right behind them is Sydney Detman in 3rd. That's a 1-3 finish. As Renner takes first for Bucknell, Deach in 2nd, Detman in 3rd. What a run for Renner. She continues her hot stretch. The reigning Patriot League Swimmer of the Week takes first place. Let's move on to the men 200-yard butterfly. The seed is Shane Wynn. Parents in attendance for senior day. Wynn in lane 5. Got Meyer for Bucknell in 1. Pichelli, who won the 1,000, or got 2nd in the 1,000, in 2. Riley Twiss in 3, Spencer Campbell for Lehigh in 4, Shane Wynn in 5 for Bucknell, Braden Roach in 6, Finn Franks for Bucknell in 7, and Christian McCulley in 8. Off the first turn, it's a good push off for Shane Wynn in lane 5. 149.52 is his seed. Wynn finished in 3rd against LaSalle, but he leads right now after the first lap. Close behind him, Riley Twiss for Bucknell. Wynn maybe a bit slow on that turn as Twiss makes up some ground in lane 3, but it's Wynn in 1st in lane 5. Twiss in 2nd in 3. A bunch up for 3rd. Another turn halfway through. Wynn in 1st, Twiss in 2nd, and now Twiss is making a move in lane 3. Riley Twiss, the Bucknell Junior, the seed time of 150.49. Takes the lead on the senior Wynn, but Wynn the stronger push off the wall. They're almost identical here. Maybe Twiss a slight lead. A lot will come down to this push. Off the wall, it's Twiss in 3, Wynn in 5. Twiss the slight lead. In 4 is Spencer Campbell for Lehigh. Just behind him, looks like it's Picelli. One final time down. Wynn has a slight lead against Twiss, the freshman for Lehigh. Twiss pulls ahead. Who will touch first? Wynn. One final push. Is it enough? No, Twiss takes the win. Wynn in 2nd. Twiss the 152.48 total. The Bucknell Junior. Wynn 152.59 takes 2nd. What a race by those two. Twiss just 2 seconds off his seed time. So Bucknell takes those top 2 spots. Now we move on to the women's 50-yard freestyle. Bucknell's Ashley Iacchettino in 1, Lehigh's Gigi Michaels in 2, Bucknell's Sarah Ketron in 3, Genevieve Cody in 4 for Lehigh, Victoria Castro in 5 for Bucknell. As they're off in, well, they will be off in a second, Matt Bumgarner racing by himself for Lehigh. Annie Go for Lehigh will be in 6, Virginia Hastings will be in 7 for Bucknell, and then Giulia Viverini is going to be in 8 for Lehigh. As Matt Bumgarner, a sophomore from Lehigh, who's got a seat time of 1:55, races alone. Looking ahead to that women's 50 freestyle, Cody Genevieve. What a race she had against Maris. Took first place with a time of 24.4. Gigi Michaels took 2nd. Virginia Hastings won against LaSalle 23.68. That was her seed time. So Hastings coming off a great race. She'll be in lane 7. See if she can repeat. This is Matt Bumgarner. Racing by himself. Lone Wolf trying to beat his seed time of 155.50. He's got one more lap. Not a bad push off. And now Wolf on the final stretch. Wolf touches at 2 minutes and .15. Almost 2 minutes on the dot. 1:55.60 was a seed. A strong race from Matt Bumgarner. Bumberger, excuse me. Now we move on to the women's 50-yard freestyle. Can Virginia Hastings in lane 7 repeat? Good jump for her. The early lead looks like it's to Genevieve Cody, who took first against Maris for Lehigh. Cody off the wall. Down the stretch, it's Cody with the lead in lane 4. Right behind her in 5 is Victoria Castro for Bucknell. Cody trying to hold on for Lehigh, and she does. Genevieve Cody takes first, Castro in second for Bucknell, and Ketron in third with a time of 24:45. Cody for Lehigh taking first place. Now to the men's 50-yard freestyle. Bucknell took the 2 through 4 spots. Finn Russell, Colin Smith, and Drew Green having great runs. Green, Russell, Smith, 7, 5, and 3. This time it's Smith, the early lead. To his left is Chase Burley from Lehigh. Smith off the wall in a race with Burley. Everybody looks tight. Maybe Burley's got the lead. In 7 is Drew Green. Can Burley hold on? Can Green apply the pressure? He finishes in 5th. It's Smith in 2nd. And Burley takes first for Lehigh. The time of 20:95. His seed is 20:71. A great run there by Burley. The second heat features 3 Lehigh swimmers. Ben Kisser, Jack McMillan, and Jackson Landau. Kisker in 3, McMillan in 4, and Landau in 5. While diving after this, I'll take my headset off and we'll listen in. In lane 4, Jack McMillan, his seat time is 21:53. Can he break it? He does. Jack McMillan, nicely done. His best swim of the year at 21:48. Takes first place for Lehigh. It was an all Lehigh race. So we will have the diving portion of this competition coming up next. Be a lot of fun to watch in this first competition. Katie Whitaker, we'll see her in a bit, who took first place last week with a score of 226. As they're warming up, we'll take a break with them here on the Bison Sports Network.
those man crushes in the little secret corner. Oh, speaking of Tom Brady and man crushes, I had to hit your husband yesterday because your husband posted something on like an NFL Facebook site, okay? And it was a post about the Patriots playoff game this weekend. And Jeff writes, easiest regular season schedule ever, easiest playoff schedule ever. And I just wrote something like, well, hey, Mr. Scott, I'm sure you're mad because Tom Brady beat your Buffalo Bison 33 times out of 36. But don't take it out on my boys. I just had to tease him. I was struck like, oh my God, this is an NFL. It's not like a Louisville thing, you know?
We're back and set to go here on Bison Vision. As the women's 100-meter diving and the men's wraps up, we're now to the women's 100-yard freestyle. Jennifer Bolden, one of the seniors here from Bucknell, she's a favorite with a seat time of 15.93. She's in lane 4. Bolden turns, she's in first. Out in 6, Lehigh's Caitlin Deach. We've already seen her win one race. She is in 6 for the women's 100-yard freestyle. Bolden here in lane 4. She's off the turn first. It's Bolden against Deach. Near the halfway point. Kenny DeVoe, Marion Ludwig, Kyla Kelly, Genevieve Kelly, Jennifer Bolden, Caitlin Deach, Sarah Keatron, and Gigi Michaels in lanes 1 through 8 respectively. The winner is, looks like Genevieve Cody in lane 4 with Bolden coming in second place. Move on to the men's 100-yard freestyle after Lehigh takes the women's 100-yard freestyle. Top seed time in this one is Frankie Precup for Lehigh, one of their stellar sophomores. He is in lane 4. It goes Finn Russell, Jack Depp, Dante Buonadanen, Frankie Precup from Lehigh, Colin Smith from Bucknell, Chase Beerley in lane 6, Drew Green in 7 for Bucknell, and Davis Warner in 8. As he turned for the final lap, leading looks like of a nice push. In lane 5 is Colin Smith. Smith in 5, just behind him in 4 is Frankie Precup. So Smith and Bucknell trying to hold on to it in lane 5. Lane 8 gaining ground is Davis Warner. Down in lane 2, it's Jack Depp for Lehigh. Who's taking first? It is Smith for Bucknell. Colin Smith comes in first place with a time of 46.29. Warner finishes in second for Lehigh. As we move on to the event 19, the women's backstroke, Claire Coughlin for Lehigh and Eliza Johnson both had great runs for their team last week. We have one more heat, though, for the men's 100-yard freestyle. Judson McIntosh against Jake Greenleaf. McIntosh in 4, Greenleaf in 5. And then we'll get to the women's 200-yard backstroke.
And that would be a real cost benefit.
McIntosh, slight lead on Greenleaf in lane 4, Greenleaf in 5. McIntosh on the back half of the final lap. Greenleaf just behind him. McIntosh has the advantage. And it'll be McIntosh taking first. Now into the women's 200 backstroke. We mentioned that Claire Coughlin, Eliza Johnson for Lehigh. They took first and second in their last meet. Bucknell freshman Olivia Wainwright had the top time for them. She's in lane 5. Give you the full names in just a second. Sophia Burns in 3. Also one to keep an eye on. Emma Feld for Bucknell in 1. Sophia Perry in 2. Sophia Burns for Bucknell in 3. Eliza Johnson in 4. Olivia Wainwright in 5. Claire Coughlin in 6. Talia Bugle in 7 for Bucknell. And Bonita Zuo is an 8. In 4 is Eliza Johnson. She's got the lead. 5 is Olivia Wainwright. She took first place against LaSalle for Bucknell last week. Off the turn, it is Wainwright and Johnson, 1 and 2. A pair of freshmen, that'll be a fun rivalry. Johnson in lane 4 for Lehigh, Wainwright in 5 for Bucknell. So Wainwright had a slightly better turn. Making some ground in the 200-yard backstroke is Claire Coughlin. As we're halfway through, touching the wall first is Wainwright. It'll be a Wainwright and Coughlin finish here for first and second, it looks like. Unless Sophia Burns, a sophomore from Bucknell, who's making up ground in lane 3. Here she comes. Off the turn, it's Wainwright. Wainwright. Behind her's Johnson. Burns in 3rd. Goes Bucknell, Lehigh, Bucknell. One more lap. Strong push from Johnson. She creates maybe a bit of separation. But Wainwright makes up ground. They're neck and neck with Burns coming up close. It's going to be a tight one between those 3. Johnson in 4, taking the slight lead. And now Wainwright off the turn. I think she's got the advantage in 5. Wainwright in 5 for Bucknell. Johnson in 4, but Burns coming up strong in 3. Sophia Burns, the sophomore, the late comeback to close out the win with a time of 2:04.60. And it's just off her seed time. Johnson came in 2nd, Wainwright in 3rd. Get a second heat of the women's 200 backstroke. Beverini for Lehigh in 4. Delia Matthews for Bucknell in 5. Their sophomore, the senior Anushri Gatti in 6 for Lehigh. Tight race off the first turn. As the trio is in a close race. In 4, Everini appears to be in first. Now on to the men's 200-yard backstroke. We're over halfway through this meet. This is the 20th event. Bucknell's Jason Kellerman, who had a good swim earlier. He had a 1:52 time and took second last week for Bucknell. Lehigh's Christian Ronayne took in first. Time of 1:52.09. Watch out for Ben Kisker, though, as he had a weak finish against Marist, but an impressive 1:48.44 time. With Bucknell leading against Lehigh in the women's 97.72 and 102.67 in the men's. So Bucknell in control. Can Lehigh make a comeback? Be a good time to start for Lehigh. Right now, Jason Kellerman's out in front in lane 3. In the 200-yard backstroke. About a quarter of the way through, it's Kellerman off the turn. Still in the lead. Just behind him, out in 6, is Ben Kisker for Lehigh. Behind him, Drew Davis for Bucknell. But Kisker is just behind as well in 6, but it's Kellerman out in front. He's got the advantage. Then 4, 5, and 6. Ronayne, Davis, and Kisker just behind him. Kellerman halfway done, still has the lead. Strong push off. Although Davis in 5, Ronayne in 4 trying to make up ground. Kellerman off the turn for Bucknell. Still in the lead. As we get set for the final lap, Drew Davis, the Bucknell freshman in lane 5, creating separation for second. Here's Kellerman on the strong push. Davis in second. In third is Ben Kisker, the Lehigh senior in lane 6. Right with him, though, is Braden Beagle, the senior for Bucknell in 7. Kellerman, though, it is his race. 1:51.41's his seed time. He's trying to top that, 6 seconds away. Kellerman backstroking to the finish. And Jason Kellerman takes first with his best swim of the year at 1:50.07. In second is Davis, and Beagle rounds out third. A 1-2-3 finish for Bucknell. As the men add to their lead, they were up 102.67. That will grow. James Ferguson and Caleb Hagerdorn will race alone. The senior from Bucknell and a sophomore from Bucknell. Hagerdorn touches the wall first. The women's 200-yard breaststroke is next. That'll be a fun one. With Kelly Byrne, one of the top swimmers this season for Lehigh, for Bucknell, pardon me. 5 wins this season. She headlines the women's 200-yard breaststroke. That's next. She won that in the meet against Holy Cross with a time of 2:22.60. The seat time's 2:16.26. Halfway through the second heat of the men's 200-yard breaststroke, Caleb Ferguson in lane 4. In lane 5 is Caleb Hagerdorn, Chase Ferguson, pardon me. And it is Hagerdorn with the advantage as he comes down the final lap. His seed time of 1:52.83. Both listed as Bucknell. Hagerdorn Going to top that 152.83. And Hagedorn is going to top it. That's in C, nicely done by Caleb. Chase Ferguson coming in. That's 156.02 as the senior closes down his swim. Now on to the women's 200-yard breaststroke. We talked about Kelly Byrne. Sydney G, Hannah Bingley, Ava Stallmeyer, and Kenny DeVoe finished second through fourth this past week. G's third. We're in lane 3. Bingley's in 7. Stallmeyer's in 1. And DeVoe is not in this race. But Kelly Byrne, the junior for Bucknell, the favorite. Lehigh's Caitlin Hoffman finished second in their meet against Marist. Hoffman in 4. Stallmeyer, Davis, G, Hoffman, Byrne, Eliza Meth, Hannah Bingley, and Hannah Giorkos. Lanes 1 through 8. After the first lap in lane 5, it is Kelly Byrne, the slight advantage, and the 200-yard breaststroke. Byrne pushing off the wall. Is still in first. Thought for a second she was a bit behind Hannah Bingley, who appears to be in second in lane 7, but it's close. Byrne. With the women in control, the last score we got was Bucknell leading 97-72. Looks like they're going to add on here with Kelly Byrne in first in lane 5. Out in lane 7, Hannah Bingley just behind her. 8, Lehigh freshman Emma Giorkos. She's in third, it appears. Kelly Byrne halfway through. Applying the pressure in lane 3 is Sydney G. She finished in second in their meet against LaSalle. Byrne in first in lane 5. I think G's in second in 3. And then Bingley in third in lane 7. Kelly Byrne, though, has the lead. A duo of Bucknell Bison just behind her. Byrne approaching the last lap, touching the wall at 144. Her seed is 2:16.03. Byrne in first. Sydney G just behind her and making up ground. Hannah Bingley in 7th. Byrne turns. It's got to be Byrne or G, it looks like. Well, Bingley making a late push with a nice push off the wall. Byrne trying to hold off her teammates. Kelly Byrne at 2:18, 2:19, touches the wall at 2:20.67, takes first. G second at 2:22.13, and Bingley in third at 2:23.92, and Bucknell extends their lead against Lehigh. We move on to the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Bucknell took the top 3 spots against LaSalle with Matt Rodabaugh finishing in first. The seniors in lane 7. The best seed time belongs to Andrew Tokic in lane 4. The Lehigh freshman, 2:02 is his top time. Let's see who takes it today. We have got Caleb Kubiak in 1 for Bucknell. Spencer Ridge also one of the favorites in 2. Evan Hepburn for Bucknell in 3. Andrew Tokic, the best seed time in 4 for Lehigh. James Lombardi in 5 for Bucknell. Carson Morris in 6 for Lehigh, and Matt Rodabaugh in 7 for Bucknell. As we approach the first wall, looks like Lombardi has a slight lead in 5. Right behind him in 4 is Tokic. Off the wall, it's Lombardi in 5. A quarter of the way through. in the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Lombardi didn't finish in the top 3 last week against LaSalle. I don't believe he actually was in the race. Lombardi falling behind, losing some ground to Takic, the Lehigh freshman with a 2:02 seed time. He took first with a time of 2:06.56 last week against Marist. Takic in the lead. Lombardi just behind him. Neck and neck with Lombardi is Carson Morrison for Lehigh in 6th. So good run for Lehigh here. The turn for Takic. His best time was 2:02. Takic. One more lap to go as he turns and pushes. Just one up and down each if Takic has a slight lead. But Lombardi, the Bucknell Juniors making up ground. It'll come down to this final push here. Takic with a seed time of 2:02.83. Off the wall first. Lombardi behind him. A battle for third between Morrison and Radabon. Can Radabon, senior day, come up with some points? Because first place is all Andrew Takic from Lehigh, just behind his seat time at 2:05.42. Lombardi in second. And then in 4th place is Carson Morris in lane 6 with a time of 2:08.48. So Lehigh makes up some ground. They were trailing last we checked by about 40 points to the Bucknell men. As the 200-yard breaststroke takes a breath before coming out of the pool. And the women's 500-yard freestyle is up next. As they get set for the women's 500-yard freestyle, Marina Ludwig took first against Marist last week for Lehigh. Get all the names in a second. She's in lane 4. But the best seed time belongs to Clara Renner in lane 5 at 4:52.46. So Ludwig in 4, Renner in 5. So probably the 2 favorites on paper. Right now it is Ludwig with the early advantage. Claire Keeley, the Bucknell Senior on senior day in 1. Sophie Perry for Lehigh in 2. Sydney Detman in 3 for Bucknell. Marion Ludwig in 4. Clara Renner in 5. Dara Schuff is in 6 for Lehigh. Tess Field is in 7. And then Reagan Gilligan is in 8 for Lehigh. Of course, Feld is a freshman for Bucknell. The leader after the first lap is Ludwig, with Renner just behind her. This was one of the matchups I think we were all excited to watch. 2 of the top swimmers on the respective women's teams. Bucknell won the top 4 spots with Kelly Byrne and Sydney Detman taking first and second. Detman's in 3rd. Byrne is not racing today. So Detman's in lane 3. And she's in a battle for 3rd against Dara Schuff for Lehigh in lane 6. But it's Ludwig in 4 for Lehigh, Renner in 5 for Bucknell. On their 7th lap, neck and neck. Senior Ludwig, college career coming to a close in a few weeks. As she pushes off, Renner looks like she might have the very slight advantage, maybe by a hand, as they are swimming right next to each other, both on a good pace. On the 9th lap, about halfway through. Renner seed 4:52.46. Ludwig 4:55.01. Ludwig coming off a win in the meet against Maris. Great to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. Probably cold where you're at, potentially. About 2/3 of the country under winter weather advisories, facing freezing temperatures. A fun afternoon, really late morning inside the Kinney Natatorium with this meet being pushed up because of the likely snowfall coming along the East Coast later on today. Of course, Lehigh not too far relative in proximity. They're going to be just fine getting back home. But just to play it safe, meet got bumped up from 1 in the afternoon to 11:30. College kids probably not used to getting up this early. I guess when you grow up in the swimming environment, you're comfortable with those 6 a.m. wake-up times jumping into the icy cold pool. Ludwig in lane 4. Renner a slight advantage in lane 5, ever so slight. And a comfortable lead for Detman, who took second place against LaSalle last week in lane 3. Can Detman have something to say about this finish? In 4th place is Dara Schuff in 6 for Lehigh. Renner trying to extend her advantage. Ludwig is sticky in 4. About 75% through this race. Renner, what a year she has had. Won 2 events against LaSalle. Reigning Patriot League Rookie of the Week. 15 individual events won this season, trying to make it number 16. And she reaches the final lap. Can Renner hold on? Ludwig behind her. By herself in 3rd is Detman. I don't know if she's got enough time to make up. Renner, Ludwig, that's the story down this final back. Great push off the wall for Renner. As she tries to hold off Ludwig. Renner in lane 5. Just past the 5-minute mark. Renner holds on to take first. Ludwig finishes in 2nd. And a very nice swim for Sydney Detman. She comes in 3rd. Renner's seed this year is 4:52, finishes at 5:02.90 to take first place. "16 individual events won this year for Renner and counting. Now to the men's 500-yard freestyle. We'll get the full list of names in a second. Lehigh took the top 3 spots against Marist last week. Will Pestrelli, Owen Higginbotham, and Braden Roach finished in that order 1, 2, 3. Bucknell took the first 4 spots with Finn Franks, Riley Twist, William Shoemaker, all with times around 4:33. The men's 500 freestyle. A couple seniors in this race. Nikita Bityutsky is in lane 1 for Bucknell. Owen Higginbotham is in lane 2 for Lehigh. Riley Twist in lane 3. Already 1 win today for Bucknell, as he took the 1,000-yard freestyle. Will Pestrelli's in lane 4 for Lehigh. William Shoemaker's in lane 5 for Bucknell. Braden Roach in 6 for Lehigh. Alex Crossing in 7 for Bucknell. Pardon me, it was actually Crossing who had that big swim in the 1,000. And then Christian McCulley, the freshman, in lane 8. It was Crossing finishing 3rd in the 1,000. It looks like Pestrelli is in the lead for Lehigh. TJ Hayes, who finished 1st in the 1,000 for Lehigh, will race next. Pestrelli looks like he's trailing to Alex Crossing in lane 7, the senior Crossing with the lead. Crossing turns, maybe a half a length lead over Pichelli, and then right by him is William Shoemaker. Alex Crossing, a mechanical engineering major from Victor, New York. His parents, Kristen and Brendan. We're here today with his sister, Mackenzie. Can Alex treat them with a win? He's got the lead right now. His seed time was 4:36.93. Swimming in lane 7. Pichelli in lane 4 as he picks up some speed. And now it's William Pistrilli who's in first place as he turns and burns. Crossing trying to make up ground. Still a long way to go. Braden Roach in third. Riley Twist trying to make up ground in lane 3. Here he comes with a push about halfway through. Pichelli the lead. Shoemaker in lane 5. Right now it's Pichelli, and then in lane 7 once again Alex Crossing picking up pace. Lehigh in 4, and Bucknell in 7. Pichelli in 4. Crossing in 7. Still close. A battle for second between Twist in lane 3. And it looks like maybe Braden Roach from Lehigh in 6. Pichelli turns at the exact same time as Crossing. Both at the 3:18 mark on a lap 15. Length 16 here. Crossing in 7, Pichelli in 4. The last long race of the late morning, early afternoon here on Senior Day. We have pictures of the seniors laced around the Kiddie Natatorium. One of them is Alex Crossing. Trying to come up with the win. He's got the lead against Pichelli. Crossing the slight advantage against Pichelli. Now Pichelli pulling even. Pichelli might have the slight lead. Can Crossing catch up? Down the final legs, it's Pichelli and Crossing. They're neck and neck. Who will touch the wall first? And it is Crossing with the win with 4:38.57. Alex Crossing on Senior Day. Just a bit off his seed. 4:38.57. His seed time was 4:36.93. And a great run for Crossing to get an exclamation point for him on Senior Day. In third was Twist for Bucknell with a 4:41 time. He's having a really nice afternoon. There will be a second heat. All Lehigh, Jake Greenleaf, third lane, Will Moon of the 4th, TJ Hayes in the 5th, and Alan Figueroa in the 6th. TJ Hayes won the 1,000 yard, trying to pick up 2 wins today. He is tight with Will Moon. Last we checked, we don't have a live scoreboard for you. Last we checked, comfortable leads for Bucknell in both the men's and women's. Halfway through, it was Bucknell 102, Lehigh 67, 97 to 72. Bucknell over Lehigh for the women's. The men 102-67. In the second heat of the men's 500-yard freestyle, TJ Hayes and Will Moon are tight. Impressive run for Alfredo Figueroa, whose seed time is 4:58. He's on track to press that. Coming up next is the women's 100-yard butterfly. Top time in that race belongs to Clara Michella at 54:46. The Lehigh's Caitlin Deesh took first against Maris. Top three spots for Deesh, Michella, and Gayo. For Bucknell, Clara Renner took first with an excellent time of 57:02. Renner's already won once today. We will not see her, though, in the 100-yard butterfly. The top swimmer there will be Victoria Castro for Bucknell, who received 55:43. Around the halfway point in this men's 500-yard freestyle, Alfredo Figueroa keeping tight with TG Hayes. Hayes won the 1,000, trying to win the 500, at least in his heat. 4 Lehigh swimmers here. Hayes starting to create some separation in lane 5 against Figueroa, trying to win his second heat today after taking the men's 1,000. Impressive young swimmer for Lehigh, TJ Hayes, just a freshman. Will Moon catching up. He had the best seed time of this bunch. Hayes' best swim this year, 4:44.98. Bell for the final lap. Hayes is out in front in lane 5. As he creates separation, Figueroa in 6. Moon in 4. Jake Greenleaf in 3. And TJ Hayes, he's in control. His seat time 4:44. Looks like he's going to top that. Hayes with a time of 4:41.69, his best swim in this event of the year, and TJ Hayes takes his second. We move on to the women's 100. We got Jocelyn Halsey in 1, Go in 2 for Lehigh, Benzigia in for Bucknell in 3, Moschella in 4 for Lehigh, Castro in 5 for Bucknell, Deach in 6 for Lehigh, and Hastings in 7 for Bucknell. Can Bucknell pull off the upset? Can someone top Clara Michella, who's been fantastic in this race over the past couple of meets? She's in first in lane 4. Michella, the first to touch the wall and the turn. And the women's 100-yard butterfly out of the water first, though, in lane 6 is Caitlin Deesh. So Deesh for Lehigh in first, Michelle for Lehigh in second. 6 and 4 are their lanes. Deesh turns first off the push. And she's out of the water with Michelle pressing. Everybody tight. This is a close one. Coming up in lane 3 is Sam Benjia. But it is Michelle in 4. Deech in 6. Michelle takes it. And it's Claire Michelle for Lehigh taking first. Deech for Lehigh taking second. Then in third, Hastings with a time of 57:21. That is a seed for Hastings, though. Congrats to Virginia. That's a nice swim there for the Bucknell Junior. On to the men's 100 butterfly. Bucknell finished 2nd through 4th against Marist. They're deep here. Drew Davis is their top swimmer. We do have a quick heat 2 of 2. Hannah Klingensmith in 4, Emma Briganti in 5, and Brooke Worth in 6 for Bucknell. We're going to head to the men, though. You have Bucknell finishing 2nd through 4th. Davis had the best swim, but he's not in this heat. Finn Russell, however, though, is. He finished in 3rd place against LaSalle with a time of 49:17. That is his seed time, and it is the best seed time out of anybody in this upcoming race. For Lehigh, Jared Rabadon finished in 1st place in their meet against Marist. Rabadon will be in lane 6, and we've already seen Jason Kellerman have a great swim earlier for Bucknell. He'll be in 5. In this race, it is Hannah Klingensmith taking the win. Time of 1 minute, almost exactly 0.47. All right, here we go. Win the seniors in 1. Shane Wynn, Spencer Campbell for Lehigh in 2, Finn Russell for Bucknell in 3, Aaron Williams in 4, Jason Kellerman in 5 for Bucknell, Jared Rabadon in 6 for Lehigh, Damian Chisatorinski is in 7 for Bucknell, and Matt Baumberger is in 8 for Lehigh. The big jump. And Aaron Williams touches the pool first. He's in 4 for Lehigh. Williams turns from the wall. Everybody seems to be about even as Williams is out ahead. In 7 is Damian Cizajewski for Bucknell. Williams in 4. He turns. Williams in 4, Kellerman in 5, Rabadon in 6. Kellerman touches the wall in the lead. Kellerman trying to hold on. Williams right next to him. Kellerman in 5. And it belongs to Jason Kellerman with a time of 49:96. Rabadon in 2nd, and Russell for Bucknell in 3rd. Kellerman just off his seed time of 49:16. Quick heat 2 of 2. We do have a couple from Lehigh, Tristan Ronayne, Jackson Landahl, and C.J. Meyer for Bucknell in lane 5. A chance for points here. The women's 3-meter dive will come up next, and when it does, we'll take a break. Looks like we just have Londell in 4 and then Meyer in 5. Londell from Lehigh, Meyer from Bucknell. They're tight off the turn. Long time underwater for Meyer. A good push has him in front. One more up and back for the two. London. Slight lead for Lehigh. Meyer was quicker on the turn last time, and it looks like he is here as he gets some more distance. Meyer trying to hold on in 5. Lontel right behind him in 4. And it's gonna be Meyer touching first. He wins the time of 53.01, just off his seed of 51.73. That leads us to the diving portion. We'll take a break, have the visuals of that here on Bison Vision. We're about to reset on Bison Vision. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Pierce. Been a fun one. We have some updated scores for you between Bucknell and Lehigh for the women's side. Bucknell is leading 162 to 102 against Lehigh. On the men's side, it's 171 to 93. So it looks like, as we are in event number 29, both the men's and women's are going to wrap up W's today on Senior Day. Been fun to bring you this coverage. We still have a few more events, though, including number 29, the women's 200-yard IM. Kyla Kelly in her seed time of 2:03.78. She's the one to watch out for, one of the seniors today. She'll race in lane 5. She took first place with a time of 2:06.50 against LaSalle. And Lehigh's Marion Ludwig, who already has won today, had a 2:06.66, taking first with her second best time of the season against Marist. Ludwig not racing, though. It's Kelly in lane 5, Clara Michella in lane 6, who took first in an event earlier. Goes DeVoe for Bucknell in 1, Annie Gayo in lane 2 for Lehigh, Kelly Byrne in lane 3 for Bucknell, Eliza Meth in lane 4, Kyla Kelly in 5 for Bucknell, Clara Michella in 6, Sydney G in 7 for Bucknell, and Zoe Davies in 8. Let's see if Kyla Kelly, the senior in lane 5, her last race at the Kinney Natatorium, can take first place. And a bad jump for Kelly. Clara Michella looks to be the early leader. Kelly got some good distance, though, and evens up with her. On the near side in lane 2, Annie Gale touches the wall and turns. She might be out front. Let's see what happens when they pop up. In lane 7, Sydney G has the advantage. She's in first after the first lap up and down. So G turns, she touches the wall first as a seed time of 2:05.39. But Michella, after the turn, now has the advantage. So Michella over G, who appears to be in second. After the wall touches to Michella. In lane 3, Kelly Byrne, also tight. Kelly on the backstroke this time. Halfway through, Michella touches first with Byrne just behind her. And now Byrne off the push appears to take the advantage on the breaststroke. And Byrne starting to pull away. Kelly Byrne for Bucknell, 2:06.27 is her seed time. She's on track to top that. See how she does on the final lap. Byrne deep underneath. It appears to be in second. Sydney G. G in a battle with Michella for second in lane 7 and 6 respectively. In lane 5, Kyla Kelly. All of them within shouting distance of the leader. That is Kelly Byrne. She tries to create some separation. Now Kyla Kelly making up some ground. She's in second. Can she catch Byrne? Byrne, the Bucknell Junior, turns with the lead. Coming down the final lap. 2:06 is her seed time. She's in first. In second is Kyla Kelly. Byrne all alone at the top. She takes first with a time of 2:07.19. Kelly comes, or rather G comes in second at 2:09.59. And then Eliza Meth in fourth, or third rather, 2:11.30. But it's Byrne taking first. So Byrne wins her second event today, number 18 on the season. And it leads us to the men's 200-yard IM. Drew Davis, the freshman from Bucknell in 5, has the best seed time at 1:50.48. Great jump off the block for Dante Biodana, the sophomore from Bucknell.
It's Kubiak in 1. I believe Rabadam, it says, at least in 2. In 3 is Buandama. Jack Depp for Lehigh in 4. Davis for Bucknell in 5. Anu Takic with a win today in 6. Avery Kuhn in 7 for Bucknell, and TJ Hayes, who has won twice, 2 heats, both long distance in that 8th spot. The leader right now is Drew Davis for Bucknell, the freshman. Jack Depp finished in 1st for Lehigh against Marist, but it's Davis out in front of Depp halfway through. Davis seed times 150 on track to top that. We'll see how he finishes. On the breaststroke, Depp is gaining ground in 2nd in lane 4. Guantana in lane 3. Davis turns with the lead. Depp's breaststroke is one of the best in this meet, and he has picked up ground, almost pulling even. Now he's taken the slight advantage as they've got one more lap to go. Can Davis hold off Depp as he pushes for the freestyle? Davis and Depp. Depp in 4, Davis in 5. Alone in 3rd is Buandama in lane 3. Depp pushes. So does Davis. A race for the finish as the crowd gets into it. Depp for Lehigh, Davis for Bucknell. Who will win? And it's Davis in lane 5 taking it. The freshman for Bucknell pulls one in for the Bison. Kubiak finishes in 3rd. In lane 1, Kubiak a late push. With his impressive time of 1:55.25. I would not be shocked if that is a seed time, and it is. So congratulations to Caleb Kubiak, his top time of the year in lane 3, as Drew Davis takes it for Bucknell in lane 5. Mentioned moments ago, both Bucknell men's and women's teams a commanding lead. Bucknell's Bison men's team going to move to 5 and 4. Women will move to 7 and 2. Lehigh's men's team still impressive 6 and 4. They'll fall to the women's 7 and 3. So Drew Davis takes the IM at the time of 1:52.02. That is just off his seat time as we have the women's 400 freestyle relay. Bucknell's A team in lane 5. Jennifer Bolden, Victoria Castro, Virginia Hastings, and Sarah Kentron. Seat time of 3:23.73. The Lehigh A team in lane 4. That's Deach, Ludwig, Johnson, and Cody. Got some heavy hitters between those two sides. I don't think we have another time for anybody else this year. Right now, 4 and 5. Lehigh and Bucknell almost even. Although Bucknell's B team of Burns, Buchel, Detman, and Gajecki, they're hanging in there in lane 3. We've got Hastings in 5, Johnson in 4, Detman in 3. Hastings just behind Johnson, who's in 4. Both turn at almost the exact same time. Johnson and Hastings even in 4 and 5. Lehigh in 4. Bucknell in 5. Johnson touches the wall. Pushes back. Pardon me, this is actually Ludwig in 4, Castro in 5. That's Ludwig on her second up and down. Ludwig in 4 and Castro in 5, almost a dead heat. 1:38 in. Halfway through. Now they give way. In 5 to Hastings and 4 to Johnson. So Johnson for Lehigh in 4, Hastings for Bucknell in 5. Then in lane 3 by herself is Detman. Looks like Bucknell's in good shape to at least get 3rd. Eliza Johnson pulling away in lane 4. the 400-yard freestyle relay. See if Hastings can make a comeback here. Johnson about half a length ahead. Johnson turns for a final time down. This Lehigh pairing seed time is 3:22.97 for Bucknell, 3:23.73. Johnson touches the wall. And the anchor, Genevieve Cody, is off. And she has some serious separation between her and Sarah Kentron for Bucknell. Again alone in third is Italian Gajecki. Bucknell is going to likely finish third here at the very least. Lehigh trying to make it so there's no drama in the end. Genevieve Cody has had a wonderful afternoon. Now they're racing for a seed time. This pairing's best, 3:22.97. Really won't make a huge difference in the final total. 3:22.97, that's going to go by the books, but it's going to be a win for Lehigh of Deitch, Ludwig, Johnson, and Cody. They touch the wall first. Bolden, Castro, Hastings, and Kentron come in second. There's a race for third as Gajecki trying to hold off, and Bucknell does take it. So it's Burns, Bugel, Detman, and Gajecki taking third for Bucknell. They take the 1 and 3 spots. Or 2 and 3, pardon me. Lehigh taking number 1 there. And the final race of the day, the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. Bucknell took second against LaSalle. Their combination of Davis, Smith, Green, Zizerjewski. A different group out there, though. Their top team, Green, Kellerman, Smith, and Buonadonna. They're in lane 5. Lehigh's top combo of Prekop, Roach, Burley, and Depp are in lane 4. Nobody else has a time. We'll see who takes the final heat here. Prekop, Warner, Burley, and Depp took first against Maris. Roach in for Worley. The only difference in that group. They're in lane 4. Final race on senior day, but a lot of fun. Bucknell's going to take the win for both the men's and women's side. We'll try to get you a final score. We do have a final race. And they're off. In the pool, almost even off the jump. Lane 5, it's Drew Green for Bucknell touching the wall first. Then gaining some ground is Zizerjewski in lane 3. Green again on the wall. He is tight with Lehigh's Davis Warner. Warner was part of the team that got first against Marist in this last week with a different group this week. And Warner is strong. He's got the lead all the way in lane 8. Great kick off the wall from Jack McMillan. As Warner and Green pull even a quarter of the way through. Leader appears to be lane 4. That's Braden Roach. His first time with this pairing in a couple of weeks. Roach pushes off the wall. Jason Kellerman right next to him in lane 5. Roach in 4 for Lehigh the lead. Up top in 8 is Jackson Lanta. Still looks like Roach out in front. Kellerman to his left. Roach pushes first, turns underneath, and kicks. A nice push off from Kellerman, about half a length behind him. Lehigh in first place in lane 4. Kellerman for Bucknell keeps him in second in lane 5. Colin Smith jumps for Bucknell. Chase Beerley for Lehigh in 4. It's Beerley in the lead. Smith just behind him. Making up some ground in lane 3 is Caleb Haggertorn. Now Beerley off a great turn, creating separation. Beerley having a great swim here. A full length in front. Smith trying to keep up. It looks like McCauley in lane 2 and Hagerdorn in lane 3 have caught up with Smith. Chase Beerley by himself up front as he gives way to Jack Depp. Lehigh gonna lose the meet, but it looks like they'll win this final heat. Jack Depp off in swimming. In second place in lane 3 for Bucknell, Riley Twist. Can he make up some ground? Twist is trying, and he has. Out in 5. Biodana for Bucknell, looking for third place. Biodana's made up some ground, but it's all by himself. Jack Depp. Twist in second. Biodana in a race with his Bucknell teammate Will Moon out in lane 6. And this heat, it'll be Lehigh. Jack Depp closes. Well, pardon me, that's Bucknell. Biodana closes. Jack Depp coming in second. Bucknell takes the final race. A great swim. Drew Green, Jason Kellerman, Colin Smith, and Dante Biodana taking the final race for Bucknell on Senior Day. Well, what a performance for Bucknell as a team as that wraps it up. Bucknell takes the final heat, and they end up victorious over Lehigh on Senior Day, both the men's and women's top. 3 minutes, 4 seconds, a little 52 extra. The actual time for Bucknell in that last race. They did not have a seed time. That's the first time that pairing has swam together. So Bucknell, on both the men's and women's side, they're victorious today. As we work our way towards the back part of the season conference tournament coming up next month, Bucknell's men's team now 5-4. While the women move to 7-2, Lehigh's men's team falls to 7-3, while the women also fall to 7-3. Actually, the men's team, pardon me, dropped to 6-4. So Bucknell, looking at their upcoming schedule, they will be in Annapolis a week from today against Navy for the Navy Invitational, and then February 18th, the Patriot League Championships. Only one more team race until then. Well, we appreciate you tuning in on Bison Vision. It's been a lot of fun. Bucknell's men and women's team take first on Senior Day at the Kinney Natatorium. We appreciate you tuning in. Great work by all the seniors. Great work by our team behind the scenes. For all of them, we appreciate you watching on this Saturday afternoon on Bison Vision. I'm Ryan Pierce. So long. Until next time. Appreciate you tuning in on Bison Vision. I'm Ryan Pierce. I'm going to hop on real quick just because we got the final score. If you're just watching, Bucknell 198 to Lehigh's 102 for the men. The women, Bucknell 182, Lehigh 118. So there, we'll put a bow on that. We appreciate you tuning in for our entire team and all of Bison Vision. I'm Ryan Pierce saying so long until next time.